You need to have skin in the game. The reason why people never achieve or ever even start what they say they dream about or what their desires are, what they really want out of life, is really because it requires having skin in the game. It requires you to have a sort of um it requires you to be able to understand the need to face consequences. You're no longer fantasizing it in your head. When you only think about doing your dream, it's almost as a sort of it's a form of masturbation where you think about it and you think about it and you think about it, right? And it's almost as if you're there but you're not. But the moment you try to achieve that, suddenly once you try to put it into reality, that's when the concept of consequences comes in. That's when you start putting skin in the game. I've realized a lot is that one thing I'm mainly was like the best way to conceptualize this is through trading. You can see trades, you can see people trade on the stock market and this and that, but it's not real until you put actual money in it. Suddenly you have skin in the game. You know, high risk, high reward. You have to make sacrifices in order to get higher rewards. So, I mean, look at me. I've realized that in order for me to be successful, I need to have skin in the game. And what better way to have skin in the game than to just stop hiding behind a screen and to show my face like this? Now, I'm not doing this for any sort of applause or support or, ooh, look at me, whatever, right? But it's more of a principle, a promise I made to myself where it's like, and I really decided to do this is when I saw a guy, this YouTube channel I follow, where like people criticize you. Like if you look at the comments, they criticize you, but they don't even have a profile picture. They're just faceless. It's all safe. They don't have skin in the game. They don't have the bravery enough to put their hand in the fire, so to speak. And in a way, I mean, you could say, oh, this is, in a way, I can see this as a form of pride, but I'm starting to realize that the moment you start really chasing your dreams, that's when you realize there's a risk. The risk of failure, of suffering, of not achieving it. But the ironic thing is, if you do nothing, if you merely daydream, that risk is still there. But it's the risk now of disappointment, of regret. And I believe wholeheartedly in my heart that the risk, I would rather fail in trying to achieve my dream than regret never trying at all. Because at least in the first option, I can say I at least tried on my deathbed. As this quote Nietzsche says, I see no, I'm paraphrasing here, but he says something like, I see no greater purpose in life than to die in attempting to reach the great and the impossible. And to do that, you need to put yourself in the fire, put yourself at risk, put yourself in confrontation, not try to hide it, try to conquer your fears. For so long, I was so afraid of putting myself out there in my face, and I realized if I want to grow and develop as a person, I have to do this. This is a form of sacrifice, a sacrifice of my anonymity. I'm putting skin in the game right now. Now people know what I look like. So, in a sense, what we can all learn from this is that there's a sense of, there's a sacrifice you have to make, something you have to do something in order that you would, at least your past self, would never have considered done. And it's only then, once you have proof that you can do things that you've never done before, evidence that you have changed, and that you can move forward with this change, is when you can start being great in the sense of in your own life, of achieving what you truly want. Those are my reflections today. Thank you for watching.